Good morning. Happy Friday. I don't know what day it is where you are when you listen to this, but Fridays are always good, aren't they? Just starting the commute. It's the 1st of November, and it's cold, damp day, grey. I'm off to work. Whee! Yeah, so Halloween yesterday. I hope you all had a good one. I don't think you get that many reports nowadays of sort of paranormal activity here, I don't think. You know, like unsolicited report of something. They're very rare, aren't they, now? I mean, you get these people looking for it, making television programmes out of it, obviously, we know that. But, just gonna have some coffee. Oh, I went louder when I said coffee. Excitement. Yeah, you don't see the newspaper, do you? Poltergeist in a house. I wonder why that is. Having more coffee, just excuse me for a moment. I really need this coffee. Yeah, so that's nice. So back in the 70s and 80s, there were reports in the media and stuff, about whatever we want to call them, hauntings or something, something mysterious going on, ghostly, whatever. Usually involving teenage children making rapping noises. But whether they were real or not, fake or not, we don't get those much nowadays, do we? You don't really see it on. I don't know, did you see it on the media? Did you see it in Sky News? Maybe it's a funny little story. You might get a blurry CCTV image that could be something, but it's really open to interpretation, that sort of thing, right? But so it's as if we've changed. I think that people have changed from back then. I'd like to say, maybe it was simpler times back then. I'm not quite sure that's true. Because things were quite complex. They certainly weren't simpler then. But I wonder what it is about us now. So we don't have that really. You get the odd UFO story, strange things in the sky, and in some ways I think they've probably increased now because people have phones on them at all times. So if they see something in the sky, boom, they take a picture or a video, and we all have a look at it and go, wow, that's amazing, But I just wonder that we sort of don't have the same around ghostly goings on, poltergeist activity, and all the things that have been reported in the past. Where might have even made it to the news, the newspapers or on TV. We don't seem to have that now, and I wonder why. Why have we changed as a society that we're not bothered, anymore? Maybe that's true. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of noise going on at the moment. People hooting horns. I'm assuming it's not the same person getting hooted at. It isn't me anyway. I suppose that's all that really matters. There's the police coming up behind us. As long as it doesn't come up behind me, I don't mind. Yes, I don't have my number plate lights are working on the car, that's why. But I mean, it's quite it's daylight, you probably wouldn't notice. Anyhow, yeah, so as a society, it's still interesting. People do like ghost stories, especially around Halloween. It's, get you in the mood for Halloween, I suppose. I just wonder, why it's not really as widely reported, Are we more not believing in it? I mean, if there was more of us not believing in this stuff, then why are these programmes when they go looking for ghost hunting? It's so popular because they are, aren't they? Like, Ghost Adventures and Most Haunted and all that sort of stuff. I just find it interesting. Maybe maybe these mobile phones we've had so far don't have the technology to take a picture of a ghost in the middle of the night in the dark. I don't know. Or maybe we're illuminating our darkness now. If it's not with lights. Maybe with mobile phones. Maybe we're distracted. Maybe when we're on our own in the house, we don't bother looking up anymore. Just loads of ghosts dancing around the house. We're too busy looking at our devices, maybe. Or Netflix. I don't know. It's something I'll have a think about, though. Because I think there is a shift. I mean, UFOs, like I said, are still being reported. You can see these videos online, and, the more realistic, then the more, the more people are, like, into them, the videos. Oh, yeah, great, But, ghosties and stuff, no. Interesting. So, I did do a podcast during Halloween yesterday evening, and I haven't had a chance to review it and edit it yet, obviously. I was only doing it last night, but I did about an hour and a half, and I might turn the volume up a little bit as well, or the sensitivity of the microphone, and watched a couple of things on YouTube. I mean, there was a few noises, I think, and I'll definitely be listening to them again. But for me, they're always there. It's just I was sitting there waiting, that sort of way. So I was, I'm very skeptical that there's anything to be concerned about. But I'll edit it down, and even if there's nothing, is there? But there was fireworks going off, which is quite unusual. So maybe it was that. There was no bonfire this year. Sometimes at the end of the road there'd be a bonfire. There wasn't this year. Which I'm sort of glad about, because it was, they make such a mess, everything else. So it was relatively quiet. I turned all my lights out at the front of the house. I didn't have any treats or anything like that, so yeah. So I thought putting it into darkness was the best way. So I was hiding for a while. I'm having more coffee. So yeah, so I'm going to go and edit it probably over the weekend, because it's quite a long bit of footage, a long recording anyway. Yeah. But one program I did watch, which I thought was quite interesting, is people and families really have been on benefits. For over 10 years, a lot of them, maybe they've been on benefits more than they've actually been working, And the premise of the program, and I think it's been out a few years, I've only really seen it now, though, on YouTube, and it's to do with, basically, the maximum you can get on benefits in 1 year is €26,000 in the UK. That's not too bad, is it? Is it 2,000 a month? I suppose it depends how big the family it is and all the rest of it, but it's capped at 26,000 a year. And what they do is they ask people to write in that if they was given this 26,000 instead of a year's benefits, could they, would they sign off all benefits, take charge and use the money wisely, So basically, loads of people wrote in, loads of families applied, and they on the program they picked 3, I think it was. There's a single mother, and there's 2 couples, and yeah, basically one of the couples, I think the guy was in his 50s, and hadn't worked for 15 years. That's a long time, isn't it? Just have some coffee. I can say I've never been on benefits that long as an adult, and I have been on social welfare when I've been unemployed, that I'm certainly entitled to. Could I imagine being on it for 15 years? It's quite interesting that I have an investment pension type thing, and I have a 15-year plan, which takes me up to 63. When I'm going to be taking it easy, I hope, and maybe semi-retired. So 15 years, yeah, could I imagine spending that on benefits and not working? The last 15 years, could I imagine? Or the 15 years before that? No, I couldn't do it, and for all sorts of reasons. Not just to blame the obvious one about the money bit, because that is obvious. You need money. You need money to live. Now, okay, you could argue, well, benefits gives you that. I think benefits are rubbish, though, in general. They don't give you a good quality of life, that's for sure. But but yeah, other than earning money, there's a lot of things around it. Keeping busy is is an interesting one. Keeping busy, it's hard to keep busy on benefits. I'd say, you need money in some ways to do that. So keeping busy, keeping occupied, self-esteem. Yeah, this is an interesting one actually, because one of the reasons you work, you make money, it's so you can do the things that you want to do. And I think that's taken away from you when you're on benefits. You're told this is the money you're going to live on. Boom, and that's it. 15 years, wow. That's a long time. So anyhow, yes, the premise was they picked these families, give them £26,000 in cash, in a briefcase. And trying to think what that is in euro. It's less than 30,000. I mean, that's quite a chunk of money for a year. When I think of how much people earn in Ireland, I think the average wage, it used to be around 35,000 a year. It's up around 40,000 now. I think it's a bit higher now in Ireland. That's before tax, of course. So a good portion of that will go off in tax. So basically, I suppose the reactions was spend some of it. They enjoyed a bit of it. I mean, one woman, she took her friends out for a meal. Oh my God, it cost hundreds, and you sort of go, wow, all that money, that's like, more than a week's benefits. And yeah, just in a one meal. Shows you how it's easy to spend, very easy to spend. And we are a consumer-driven society. It's been geared up that way, hasn't it? Money is so easy to spend. I'm gonna have some coffee now. The commute's going well, by the way. Just coming up towards Wickham Way, nearly at Dundrum town centre, shopping centre. Not had any hold-ups. Just having more coffee. But it's a difficult one. I like the idea. So basically, given the 26 grand, and then they have to sign off the benefits. And I think what really surprised them, certainly one family, was that as soon as they signed off, they had to pay for things. Stuff that was already paid for them, they had to pay for, and that was quite a shock. Things like rent and stuff that had been paid for them, and rates and all sorts of things that people who work have to pay for. So that was interesting. So I enjoyed that now, and there's a few more episodes. I'm gonna watch a couple of episodes, and I do like the fact that they're trying to start a business. That's the first thing. A lot of them thought of doing with the money, and that's one of the reasons I think they decided, experts, to give them the money. That they're not just going to spend it, and live off it, and that's it, boom. So, setting up a business, fantastic. And they had some ideas, and I mean, there's all sorts of businesses, and I'm sure they've all sorts of skills and things like that. So, but they were sort of going it alone in a sense. And I wonder if they needed to be a bit more organised. I mean, I could tell from the premise of the programme, if they had any problems, they could speak to the experts, but the experts were very much, they didn't want to guide them too much, I don't think. They didn't want to, steer them in any particular direction, but let them do it for themselves, And of course, setting up a business is hard. I think what is interesting is, they had been trying to get work when they was only, on benefits, so they was not successful. But I do wonder if they was putting too many eggs in one basket. I think that can be a little bit of a problem. And I wonder, okay, you want to do this business, you have a nice bit of money. Well, first off, make sure you have enough money to live. Put that to one side and don't touch it. Budget's going to be so important. This is a finite bit of money, and it can go up very rapidly. 26,000, I can burn through that within a few days. So, me personally, I would have gone for multiple revenue streams. There was one couple, and the guy was really into exotic animals and stuff, and he was getting loads of these. He was going to do shows for kids. these things were really expensive, and the shows weren't very high paying, and you didn't have many bookings. You know, you've got to work out the maths here, and everything else. So, and it looked like he was getting out of hand because he really did like these things. He's buying more and more of them. But yeah, that was a problem for me because there was one thing. He had no idea, prospect of how much revenue. There didn't seem to be any calculations around, how much they spend and how much is coming in. So not a surprise in that sense. One couple, they did buy the son a PlayStation 4, and you're like, oh no, don't do that with the money. But, something they're not used to having, a treat. Maybe it's a one-off, it's okay. But yeah, most were revenue streams, so, I'd have got a three-pronged attack, in many ways. I would have gone for, if it's a couple, what does your man like to do? What does the woman like to do? After an interest, something they like to do. Set up a business, think about that, and also think about getting work. Also think about being employed. I think they had a special needs child. One of the reasons they wasn't working. Well, budget in a carer, budget in so you can free yourself from that to earn money and get an income, and not just rely on one income turning up. I think everybody gets focused on a single point. And I think all of them should have been looking at not just one business, but also, getting a job, getting a makeover, education, learn something, that could get you a job. One of the guys, he wants to sell second-hand stuff, which is fine. A lot of money in that, but he got a van. Need a van. Bought a van, doesn't know how to drive. I mean, it's putting the cart before the horse, isn't it? So, yeah, I think you have to think these things through. So learning to drive would have been a very acceptable use of the money. Absolutely. I think it's a skill, and it's a skill that has value. So yeah, pay for that, no problem. But maybe hold off on the van. That's what I think anyway. So, but yeah, God, it's easy to spend money. Oh man, just so easy. Just going past the steps of Rome. It hasn't shown green on the Google Maps at all for the time, which I find interesting. It says 4 minutes now. No hold-ups. Schools are still out. They're back in on Monday, so they're back to normal on Monday. Yeah, good progress. And I mean, the road's a little bit damp, but it's not raining. So, my watch tells me 0% chance of rain at this time. So, I'll certainly keep an eye on that now. I'm hopeful I can get parking in the office. I am later than yesterday, but it is Friday. Maybe a few people have had the good sense to work from home today, or take today off. I know it's a long shot, but we'll go for it and see what happens. Well, hey. But yeah, so it seems to like turn into a bit of a business hints and tips. But I can see where the pitfalls are going to be, and I know what the biggest one is: money running out and going back on benefit. Yeah, that's the big one now. And I don't know how it impacts your ability then to get benefits because you've had this big lump of money. Yeah. And I wonder how they work the money because, should it be liable to tax? Maybe it is. What is it? What is the money? A gift. Here's a gift. Probably it's underneath allowances though, isn't it? So it's probably okay. Just going through the estate where I might have to park, and I tell you what, it's quite busy. Oh, there ain't many places to park here today. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. No, someone's found a spot that it was pulled in. Oh, look at all you, eh? These two cars have found a spot as well. I wonder if I should pull in there. I should really, but I'm gonna chance there. I'm gonna chance the office car park. I'm gonna can always come back, can't I? Oh man, happy Friday. Well, I'm in the front of the office. No room at the inn there, but there never is, even at 7 o'clock in the morning. Imagine getting here that early, eh? This is early enough. It's 9:15. Not hopeful, by the way. Western Union are all in. I want a quick look-see. And there's no space. So it looks like a bit of a walk. A brisk walk, as my Apple Watch would say. All these good people getting in there. Only enough to get a parking space. Great, isn't it? Jesus, cyclist trying to hit me in the car park. Let's just go back home again, shouldn't I? Now, can we park up there? I can't remember. Oops, let's get out of the way here. Yeah, he's got the parking space. It's fine, I'm okay, don't panic. Life's good, isn't it? Just push one of these cars out of the way, eh? One of the little ones. Oh man, I'm certainly not in the mood for a walk. I know that. I could have gone then. I was miles away. Miles away. Lots of cyclists, Jesus. Let the cyclists go. They're really good. Yeah, that spot's too small there, I think. Yeah. Not to worry. Happy Friday, anyway.